What is going on, everybody? I'm actually kind of excited about this. We are going old school today. We're going back to a game that's been out for quite some time, but if you are one of the very faithful few who was around from the beginning, then you may know that when I started my first YouTube channel, which was this one, it was then called The History Guy, before the current History Guy had his channel. And it was strategy gaming, and what I would do is I would play history games and then talk about the history. And the first series I ever did on YouTube ever was Ultimate General Civil War. Well, we've come a long way since then, but I just found myself with an itch that could only be dealt with, could only be scratched by going back to Ultimate General Civil War. So I've got my Lieutenant Colonel's uniform on, along with my Stetson hat that I just picked up in Gettysburg when I was there last week. It doesn't work real well with the lighting, and I can't grow a Civil War beard to save my life. But we're going to try out a full campaign on Ultimate General Civil War using the J&P Rebalance mod, which I've never done a complete playthrough for with this latest version of this mod. It makes it harder, but it makes it more interesting. And I think the music maybe is probably a little too much, even though it sounds awesome. So we're going to turn the music off, and I may even just edit that out so that you never hear it in the first place. But let's dive in. Campaign. We're going to do the Union campaign because I'm dressed for such a thing. And I may need to remove myself from the screen. Whoa, that's loud.
Itself cannot stand. This government cannot endure.
So we first have to set up how we go about this, and it's been so long since I played that I honestly don't remember what I want here. But I feel like reconnaissance is something that can wait till later, because that's going to give me a lot of information about things like how many men the enemy has, which is helpful information to have, but I don't need it early on. For these first few battles, I really want stuff that's going to help me right away. So I'm thinking army organization and training may be the way to go. Logistics would help with ammo, but I don't think ammo is going to be a problem early on. Medicine will help me get recruits back, but again, that's something I'm going to worry about later when I have a bigger army. I think infantry, so training and recon. And then economy, I think, is going to help long term with buying weapons that I want. So I feel like that business background would be a good one to have. Politics increases the amount of recruits and money you receive during the war. So that's a good thing. Maybe long term that's the way to go right off the bat. And then we can do the rest later. So we're going to play Union. I have done a playthrough on Legendary mode on this game. And I'm thinking maybe that long term that might be the way to go. But I think we'll just go ahead and go Major General for now. I think it's going to be plenty hard enough just doing that. Because the way that the game does scaling and things like that, Major General difficulty in the mod is similar to playing like Legendary in the base game. Okay, so it is harder. Would you like to select Major General Light difficulty, where the AI has reduced size and experience? Still a significant step up from Brigadier General. Yeah, I think we actually will do that. Only because it's been so long since I played it. General VTH. So we start with 3 politics, 1 economy, 4 training, 1 army organization, 1 reconnaissance. And as we go along, I'll explain, we'll talk about what each of these does, because when you level it up at different levels, it gets you additional perks. But for now, 17% income boost, 5% discount to weapons, minus 14% veteran costs, and that's going to come in, that's going to be a big deal, is being able to get those veterans cheap later on. Recruiting, etc., etc. So there are a lot of changes with the Rebalance mod from the base game. And that's something, if you install the Rebalance mod, it tells you at the beginning all that stuff. I'm not going to go over it all now. But we are going to start with the Battle of Philippi, which is largely considered kind of the first real battle, skirmish really, between armies. It takes place in West Virginia, and it is pronounced Philippi, not Philippi. So I believe, if I remember right, this first one is pretty hard. They throw you in like right off the bat, and then they get a little easier for a while. So, and the way the game works is you play like these major landmark kind of chapter battles, and then there's skirmishes and other things in between. And so I don't know how far we'll get today. We probably may just mostly play Philippi today. Our main objective is to secure the small town and its railroad junction. According to our scouts, the garrison should not exceed 3,000 soldiers, but then there's going to be a counterattack, and there's going to be a lot of men. So we must capture the town before rebel reinforcements arrive via railroad. It's advised to use your vanguard to clear the town's perimeter from skirmishers and other threats. The rest of your forces are en route and will arrive from the southwest. Assault the town when all forces are present. All right. Your reinforcements arrived. Head to the town. So basically, we have an hour and 14 minutes in the game to capture Philippi, and then we're going to face a rebel counterattack. So let's go ahead and just get these guys moving slowly here. Same with these ones now. I'm gonna head up this way with the skirmishers, and then we'll follow behind them. I'm gonna go a little faster too, because I think that the rebalance mod actually slows the game down a little bit, which in bigger battles especially is going to be important, but probably not real important right now. Alright, so we've already spotted... Oh, interesting. We actually don't know. Maybe this is something that comes with recon. So we don't even know how many men he has, at least not until we encounter them a little bit. So our guys are coming out of column, which they would have... when they're advancing like on the road, you're going to go like 4 wide, you're going to be in a column, and they would rehearse moving from column into line of battle, which is their main kind of fighting formation that they would have to get into. So we're going to let our skirmishers go right off the bat. We can break skirmishers off from our brigades, and this is a brigade level game, so these are brigades. And sometimes you'll have brigades that don't belong to your army. Alright, looks like our artillery is going to get into line here. Here's my general right here. Alright, we need Loomis to move up because I want to get multiple units firing on Sill. Alright, meanwhile, we're going to be coming at him from the other side. I don't know why those skirmishers stopped moving. I still have no idea how many men Sill has. I guess that comes from a lack of recon stats, so maybe we are going to need to get some recon. But he's falling back. I don't know his condition or anything about him. So let's go ahead and move forward. I'm going to kind of piggyback my artillery, so I'll move one while one fires. Okay, now we know he's got 361 men and they're wavering. And now we lost it again. So it seems like when my skirmishers moved forward, I had more information, more intel. Interesting. Alright, these skirmishers are moving forward. You can see all the dark area where we really have no idea what's going on. And I'm going to move Zook's 2 brigades in behind these skirmishers. Yeah, I want to keep those skirmishers close so I can see what's going on. There's also a supply depot right here I'd like to grab. Oh, Walton, what are you doing? Get out of the way of Loomis there. Alright, now let's move up the other artillery, move up our supply, and get my general closer. This is his kind of radius of influence right there. And we can level up the general. Generals and units all get level, like perks that they can add as they level up. Alright, let's go ahead and move into the town. Oh, look at that. He's coming in behind me. Oh, there's only 58 skirmishers there. Alright, I'm going to send these guys over that way. I'm going to keep sending Zook toward the town. Oh, hello. Okay. Let's clear these guys out of the town. Let's go ahead and grab the supply depot there. We'll keep moving everybody toward the town. I think that's a good spot for my artillery. You can see the ranges of the artillery, so you've got different lines showing you what kind of fire they have. So, like, obviously canister is the closest there. We've secured Philippi, which is going to start a timer for 20 minutes before we conquer it, and then I don't know if that's going to automatically finish the mission or if the mission timer is going to run all the way. Alright, so let's keep... Oh, he's got more units up there, too. Let's keep them busy with Schaefer there, and then I'm going to move my main body toward the town, because the town's the objective here. Heroic. That's... I guess both sides are heroic at the moment. Alright, I'm going to charge these guns. Maybe. There you go. Why aren't they charging? It says charge, but then they don't move. And they're taking canister fire. There you go. Alright, his guys are wavering. That's good. Let's go ahead and move the guns up. I don't want to leave them out there too far to where... Yeah, here comes a unit here that I'm worried about. So, let's go. Oh, Davies surrendered. So the guns surrendered. That's good. Let's pull them way out of here. So, because what happens is, if these units surrender, and then one of their units like tags them, it's like unfreezing them in a game of freeze tag. Like they become unsurrendered. So you have to be careful. If a unit surrenders, you got to hurry up and pull them out. All right, we're gonna have to send Zook over to deal with these guys because they're marching toward the town. Okay. Oh, he's not even gonna make it that far. He's got skirmishers firing on him here. Although it looks like they're pulling back. All right, we're routing Law. Yeah, we're kind of surrounded on all sides at the moment, so we're holding them off here. Let's go ahead and get these guys into these fortifications right there. See, I don't like them being flanked like that, and I can't break off. Once you're under fire, you can't break off skirmishers. Wow, these guys are holding off 3 units there. So I kind of just have to go deal with these skirmishers. No, you know what? I'm going to keep moving forward. Go after the main target. Oh, we got another one to surrender. Awesome. Let's also get... Oh, you know what? If I send them up there, they're going to get unsurrendered. So we got to keep them in the town, in a spot where they'll be not near the enemy. Alright, what's going on here? There's so much to keep track of, even on this first battle. And first Manassas is just going to get that much crazier. Alright, we're holding off a bunch of them right there. We're holding these guys off pretty well. We're still getting fired on from 2 sides right here. But they're still eager. We're going to go ahead and charge into the town. So Scales is moving into the fortifications now, so that's going to help. Plus we have artillery fire on these guys. And you can check and see, so there's a couple things here. Let me move myself out of the way a little bit. So I've gone ahead and removed myself from the screen so that you can see everything a little better. And so you'll see here some information. This is how many men I have under my control, 7,952 at the moment. We've taken 4% losses. We have 27 guns. Here's our overall morale and our overall condition. But then we can actually see that information for each of our units as well. So how many kills versus deaths, how many men they've got, what their morale looks like, how much cover and condition they have, as well as their supply and where they are as far as reloading goes. All really, really helpful information when it comes to what's happening. Oh, Colonel Gene Zook was wounded. That's not good. Alright, we're holding the line here. So Zook was probably wounded in this attack here. This Zook, he's holding his own. Considering there's 2 artillery units there and several infantry units, he's holding his own. These guys are doing better than holding their own, but they're a small force. The main thing here is that once we take Philippi, we'll be on to the next phase of this. Don't like how this is going. I might be able to capture Law. Although I don't know what's going to happen when the contested timer winds down for Philippi. But we outnumber him almost 3-1, and he's routing. So that might be another chance to capture a unit. Things are not going great here. I could have sent Walton, but I'm just thinking ahead to the next phase of this when we're going to be attacked from all sides. Alright, I think we can go ahead and speed up a little bit. Oh, Law just disintegrated. His unit just ceased to exist. So now we got to go after McHenry with Loomis's men. Looks like Scales, the enemy he was facing, also disintegrated. Now these guys are facing flanking fire, so we're going to pull them back into the fortifications, and then we're going to bring Walton over here and just fire from this bank on the river. Zook's going to fall back for a minute or so, and now we can start engaging again. Ugh, these guys are facing canister fire. I don't like that. I got 21 more minutes. Alright, we can speed things up a little bit for a minute here. Loomis needs to get back into those fortifications quickly. We just lost another brigade commander wounded. And when these guys get wounded, they kind of go into the hospital for a while, and eventually they'll be available again in your pool of officers. I mean, we'll see all that in between battles. Oh, darn it, Loomis, get in there. He's not going to make it. Alright, we're going to turn Walton and fire on McHenry's men. Friendly fire is not really a thing that we have to worry about too much. Looks like whoever Stockton was facing has disappeared, so let's go ahead and bring him over. We got 14 minutes left. Oh, he broke into the town. That's not ideal. Alright, we routed McHenry. He might dissolve too. That would be ideal if we were able to do that. Alright, we dissolved those skirmishers. That's good. Alright, here comes the counterattack. Okay, so the town is secured, but the rebels are determined to retake it. We have prepared some entrenchments to stop their assault, and this is where they get their little armored train, too. Multiple enemy regiments approach from these roads. Most serious threat is the armored train coming down the rails. Without cannon, we will have great difficulty neutralizing it. Yeah, so we want to have our artillery placed in such a place where we can nail that. We do have reinforcements coming. That'll help a lot, but we need to kind of hunker down. So let me pause. We're gonna throw Walton into these fortifications right here. Let's get Loomis up into these fortifications. Scales needs to get into those. I need to pull these guns behind, as well as the supply. I don't like how we're being flanked here. We need to wipe McHenry out, so I don't have to worry about being flanked anymore. Now these guys are super good units. You got the 3 stars there, so that's really high experience with those units. We've also got some artillery coming. So we've got to fight our way into the town with all of them. We've got to wipe out McHenry as fast as possible. Hopefully we can get into the fortifications before the enemy starts arriving. Alright, they're exhausted but steady. I just need him to disappear so we can go after these other guys and stop being flanked. Now I can also draw a line to do this, which is really cool. Some of these units really took some massive casualties. Okay, Watson's going to get into his fortifications now. These guys are very tired, which is not ideal at all. You know what I'm going to do here is I'm going to switch. I'm going to send Loomis there, and I'm going to send Scales up here because he's fresh, and he's going to be facing the more difficult challenge. I'm going to bring my general over here. And these guns are going to have to deal with the train when it comes. Oh, Jamie McGinnis was killed. That's my 3rd brigade commander I've lost. Where is that? Where's McGinnis? Come on, finish these guys off already. So tired of being flanked. Oh, these guys are low on ammo. Alright, we're going to turn now and face them. Let's charge them and just wipe them out as quickly as possible. Let's move the guns forward. Let's get up there and help them reload. Oh, come on, finish him already. Here come. Alright, they're coming down. We're doing our little swap here. They're starting to come this way. Alright, we gotta tell Scales to run. Or else the Confederates are gonna get to those fortifications before we do. Looks like they're going to anyway. Harlan surrendered. Who's Harlan? Oh yeah, that's the guy I just overran. Perfect. Alright, move the guns again. Oh my gosh, this is so frustrating. It's basically taking Zook out of being able to be used. I think I can probably move Stockton up here now. These guys ended up in a melee situation. That is not what I wanted. Because they're probably going to get thrown back. So what I need to do now is I need to send Stockton over here to help support that, because they're gonna fall back. Boy, all right. They're wavering. Oh, now we got a 3rd unit firing on them. Oh, this is so frustrating. Alright, these guys are warmed up and eager. That means we can charge again with them. More rebels sighted. Yeah, they're going to try to overwhelm me. Let's get over here and replenish these guys' ammo. How are we doing? We're going to be fine right there. Oh, nice, Scales. Way to throw them back. Just in time to get charged by another group. Come on, fall back into the fortifications. Right, let's get these guys up there firing on Hatch. Alright, our artillery is lighting Grant up. He just lost so many men. Beautiful. Thankfully, there's no friendly fire to worry about. Okay, let's pause, because we've got men all over the place here. We finally dealt with that pesky unit that we just couldn't seem to wipe out. I'm going to send Bruce toward the town now. I'm also going to send the guns that way, because I don't think we're going to need the guns to deal with these guys. They're going to hold just fine there. Oh boy, okay. Our men are routing there, but we've got Stockton here to help out. Haven't seen the train yet. It will be coming. More are marching toward us. Of course they are, and we have no idea how many there are. I didn't really want Stockton to get into a melee situation here, but there they are. Alright, Walton's going to hold just fine in the fortifications, supported by plenty of artillery. He's still facing 2 units, so we just want to be careful there. There's some skirmishers here too, so let's do this. They're too close to combat. We can't get any skirmishers going there. So Zook is resupplying now. You can see how much we have as far as supplies go in the supply wagon. So we're watching the supply situation go up for them. I'm going to keep Milroy advancing. I'm going to send these skirmishers closer toward the town. Now that we've got some ammo for these guys, let's go ahead and move them. How we doing? Walton is holding just fine. Artillery support makes a big difference. I'm going to pull scales back because they're tired, and exhaustion is a bigger deal in this mod than it is in the base game. You have a unit that's very tired like that, you don't want to be fighting with them. You want to give them a chance to kind of pull off the line if possible. Of course, Loomis is facing the same problem. Where's the train? Oh my gosh, look at how many Confederate units are coming this way. Alright, that's a lot. That is really a lot. Alright, these guys are good. I'm going to pull them back out. I'm going to put scales into the fortifications. Oh, here comes the train now, too. If these guys all charge, there's no way that I can hold, and that's a problem for my artillery. I'm going to have to pull this artillery back, which means they're not going to be firing right as he's moving in on me. But I have no choice. I really don't have a choice. Flanked again. Get these supplies up in there. Alright, Milroy. Let's get you across. As long as they don't charge, we'll be okay. If we just sit in these fortifications, we can handle being fired on by like 6 brigades at once. Alright, I'm going to turn the guns around right here, I think. As long as he's not charging, I'm okay. We're getting Stockton over here to give some support. We've got another brigade coming across. Now Milroy's going to start putting pressure on these units here. Here comes the charge. I was expecting that. I just expected he'd do it with every unit at once. I still don't see the train. Where's the train? It comes from this way. Man, Walton's being fired on by so many people, and now here comes the melee attack, which is what worried me. They're still eager. That's good. They're wavering. Even better. Now they're routing, and we're still confident. That's really good. That helps a lot. Alright, we've got another brigade. We held long enough that we have another brigade coming in that's really good on morale. Alright, we're going to send... We could actually merge these two if we want. I'm not sure we need to, though. I want to get these guns right on this bank to where they can start firing. Alright, Walton. You are doing heroic work, my friend. I'm really surprised I haven't seen the train yet. Here it comes. Alright, the Dryland Merrimack. We definitely need Bristow to focus on them. That is your target now. We need to light that thing up as quickly as possible. We have 45 minutes, so we need to hold out. Alright, let's wipe these guys out. And I still don't know how much, basically, HP the Dryland Merrimack has. It's down to 126. I think it starts at like 150 or something. So that's good. Bristow's about to fire. Let's see how much damage he does in one fire. Alright, alright. And every time weakens it a little more. Scales is tired but confident. Let's charge another one of these small units. Alright, I'm just going to sit tight over here. I think we're good. Oh, he's charging right into Bruce, who just arrived. Oh, wow, and they're getting torn up. Not good. Not good at all. Alright, I have to tell Bristow to fire on the infantry. Really don't have a choice. Alright, we're gonna have to send these guys across now. I know the train's severely damaged, but I need support for my infantry badly. Now my guns are hurting, so let's turn them on his infantry. Alright, I think Loomis is freed up to come over here and help on this. Oh, see, it's the melee that is killing me. As long as it was just shootout, we were good. Alright, Zook, finish these guys off. Let's get these guys across. Bruce, yeah, Bruce just, they just dissolved. I was afraid of that. He was outnumbered like 4-1. And he just completely melted away. I got more help coming. I gotta hold on for 29 more minutes. And then hope some of my units survive to be carried into the next battle. Alright, let's send Milroy across. I don't know how much we're really going to get use out of him by the time he gets across. Milroy was just wounded. Ah, here comes another melee attack. Ah, brutal. Come on, Zook, get across and help us out. Alright, we drove them off, that's good. And then immediately he hits me with another one. And now we're routed. And this is what I'm worried about now, because now we have the guns in the way. Alright, we gotta run. Because now he's gonna charge my guns. Hit him. Oh, that's gonna devastate those guns. Now these guys are getting flanked. Oh, this is a nightmare. There were things I could have done better early in the battle that would have avoided this situation, to where I would have had more of my men in the town to protect against this, and I just didn't do it. Zook's already wavering. And then here come several more Confederate brigades. Stockton is breaking now. Let's get Milroy in there quickly. Thankfully, I've got a crap ton of artillery firing on these guys. Alright, 14 minutes. The good news is the town, the flag he's got to capture is in the middle. Bristow was wounded. So I mean, we're going to lose a lot of men, but I don't think he's going to be able to take the town. Oh, he just hit my other artillery. Darn it. Oh no, that artillery is going to get wiped out. Beautiful. 4 minutes. Well, it's ugly, but it's a win. Okay. So in the end, honestly though, I mean, if you look at it that way, we were outnumbered 14,000 to 10,600. We only lost 3,100 men. I mean, I say only. That would be a major battle by early Civil War standards. I mean, these casualties are higher than First Bull Run with far fewer men involved. But we inflicted 2-to-1 casualties, actually better than 2-to-1 because he had 635 missing. This is one of the things I love about this. You get to see all these stats afterwards. And, of course, these were units of his that surrendered. Looks like the unit that took it the hardest was Grant with these reboard muskets, followed by my unit, Zook's 2nd Brigade, that took a ton of casualties but inflicted a ton. All right, as far as officers go, I was promoted to Brigadier General, which means I should have a new perk. Colonel Jamie McGinnis was killed. Brigadier General Daryl Milroy, along with Colonels Bristow and Walton, were all wounded. And then here's what we rescued and captured that will go into my pool that I'll be able to use. And those are everything. Having those weapons, massive. Moving forward, it's going to save me a ton of money. So we've got 28 reputation, which can be spent, but you have to use it wisely, because if your reputation drops too low, your morale suffers, and then you lose the campaign if it drops too low, because if you lose a battle, you lose morale. But you can spend some. Like here, I can spend, and I think initially this is 2,000, but because of my perk, it's up to 2340 for 5 morale. I think that might be worth it, especially early game. And boy, would I love to get my hand on these 3-inch ordnance guns. Those are really nice weapons to have. And boy, John Gibbon would be nice to have too. So I might do all of these actually. No, it only let me do 2. I can't spend any more because I can't spend below 20. I do want to add some supply. Looks like 5,000 is the most I can add for 1 division. I do have career points to spend as well. Army organization. The next point will allow me to have a 2nd division. So that may be a point we need to spend. Next, recon point. Will let me know his starting army size. And I'll get plus 50 to spotting and a 0.8 weapon recovery multiplier. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that too. Alright, so let's take a look at our armory. Springfield 1842s, they're okay, but they're muskets. So they use buck and ball, which means effective range is not great, and their accuracy's not great. But these Springfields, these are nice. I've got 3,400 of those. I've got some Harper's Ferry 1855s, nice, but those are going to be expensive to buy. And then those are in the shop. The armory, you can see what I've got here available to me. And of course, we can sell these too, but they're not worth a lot. You can see there I can sell them for $2 a piece, whereas a Springfield 1855 costs $26, but I can only sell it for $2. Really doesn't make sense to sell anything right now. Maybe the 6-pounder field piece, but that'd be about it. So let's go ahead and take a look at our existing division. Well, let's look at our perk first. I think we're going to go infantry perk, firepower plus 20% accuracy, plus 10% for artillery. Charge damage would be nice, but later on I'll get specialty like shock units for that. Let's get this 12-pounder unit back up. You can see they're going to lose some of the stats that they've gained if I add them as rookies. If we do it as veterans, it's going to cost more, but it's worth it.
Yes, sir.
10, I think, is the max size I can go right now. This guy's a 2-star unit, but unless I keep him small, I'm going to have a hard time keeping him at 2-star, because even adding veteran units, you can see how quickly, or men, you can see how quickly it drops below. So I just don't think it makes sense to keep him at 2 stars at the moment. And I think we're also going to have to switch the weapons that we're using, because we just don't have enough of that kind of weapon to equip these guys. But look how much they're going to lose. I don't have that many veterans available to me at the moment. As the game progresses, we'll gain more veterans, because we'll get access to guys that are coming back from wounds. We'll get access to guys that are exchanged from prisoners, things like that. I think we're going to probably stick to a max size of 1,000 right now on this unit. Loomis, he also has Springfield 1855s, and we have some in the armory right now, so that's good. This unit we can, I'm just going to go ahead and max him out to 2,000, even though it's going to hurt some of his stats. These guys have Mississippis, and we have a bunch of those in the armory. We can max 2,000 is the max brigade size I have. As we level up perks, we'll be able to add new brigades. Let's get a 2nd division. It's going to cost a ton to get a brigadier general. Let's go with a colonel for now. William Brewster. And then infantry brigade. Early on in the war, you did have like colonels commanding divisions and things like that until the promotions started catching up with everything. Of course, you also had a lot of brigadier generals. I mean, first Bull Run, you're going to see guys like Ambrose Burnside and William Tecumseh Sherman are in command of brigades. James Longstreet commanded a brigade at First Bull Run. So did Stonewall Jackson. All right, it looks like pretty much anything else we get, we're going to have to buy. Okay, so I don't want a captain in command of a brigade. We need, at the very least, lieutenant colonel. And then he'll level up. That's going to cost me 40,000, but worth it. I want to at least get 2 infantry brigades in the 2nd division because we're going to need them. Oh, boy. I don't want to spend that much on another colonel. We're going to have to go with a major for this one. What else do we have? We've got a decent amount of Springfield 1861s, but not enough to form a brigade. We might have to go. Oh, I hate to go Springfield 1842s. I'd rather just spend the money on something better, like Harper's Ferries. Cost 39,000 just to get 850 of them. So we'll go. This is going to use basically all the money I have left. So let's, I guess, just go 1,000 here. I'd like to get another battery if I can. Do I have enough to do that? And what kind of guns do we have available to us? Oh, we've got the 3-inch ordnance. Oh, beautiful. I've got a captain in command of that battery. That's going to come in really handy. These are good weapons, and you can see all of their information here. Base damage, effective range, fire rate, ammunition, ammo cost, area damage radius, things like that. So this is a rifled gun, though. So that means this is more accurate as opposed to like a Napoleon, which is a smoothbore. Napoleons are going to be good for kind of close range and firing canister and stuff. 3-inch ordnance I want to use for counter battery fire to try and neutralize the enemy batteries where possible. So yeah, I think this is what we're going to do. So we're in the first Manassas campaign now. There's only one battle available to us, which is called Distress Call. And then we have First Bull Run after that. So I don't know how long this has been so far. I think we'll probably go ahead and wrap it up right here, though. And then we'll come back in the next episode and we'll do Distress Call and then dive right into First Bull Run. So let me know your thoughts. Use the comment section below. And I know I've done some other series lately that haven't performed real well on the channel, which is why I haven't done more of them. But my travel is all done. I did a ton of traveling the last couple of months, but I'm pretty much home now. So let's get into some gaming, and I'm excited to do this campaign. So let's see what happens. Thanks for watching. Please hit that like button. It helps a ton, and it definitely helps to support the channel. Thanks for watching.